Thanks so much Mandy and Scarlett for subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for regular uploads and your chance to be included in shoutouts for future videos. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm happy to share this video with you all. I know it's a long anticipated video by a lot, and especially my good old friend Cassandra. She's been waiting for me to edit this video. I have taken quite a while, but now today I'm sort of free, so I thought I'll edit the video and get it out there. This is cold process liquid soap making. It is very possible. It doesn't just apply to bars, soap bars. It can apply to liquid soap as well. So in the pot here we have coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, and cocoa butter, unrefined cocoa butter, because we want that nice chocolate smell. And the cocoa butter is at 30%, and if you go down to the description you'll see the full percentages and everything that I work with. And I also add the sodium lactate and the glycerine with the oils. And the reason why I like to add 40% glycerine to the oils, because it actually speeds up the saponification process, and it creates a lot of heat as well. There's 3% sugar syrup in here as well, which also creates a lot of heat and speeds up the process. So I heated the oils and everything together to about 80 degrees Celsius, then I turned it off, so I just allowing the residual heat here just to be on the hot plate. And when I added the lye to the water, I didn't wait for it to cool. I added it straight into the oils, and because we want as much heat as possible, and we're going to reach a thick trace, it's going to thicken up quite quick. It's only going to take less than 2 minutes, and as you can see, probably some steam coming out from the pot as well. So the oil batch is it's actually 1.5 kilos. So what I'm going to do after it's into a thick trace and I can't blend it anymore, I'm going to put Glad wrap on the top of it, and I'm going to put the lid on to the Glad wrap, and just to make sure that it's going to keep the heat in for as long as possible. And the lid as well, it's got that little hole. I put just a little bit of Glad wrap on the top on that as well, to retain as much heat in there as possible. And then we're going to leave it for about 24 hours. I do check it, I think, once after a few hours just to make sure, and I just give it a quick stir, but then I don't open it at all after that. I put the lid on and then I check on it the next day. And yeah, so that's how I kind of start off my cold process liquid soap as well. And I do a negative 15% superfat, and the reason why we want negative 15 is because obviously potassium hydroxide isn't pure like sodium hydroxide, so we want to add that extra to make sure all the oils are saponified. And we want also that extra because when we go to neutralise, we want a good amount of potassium citrate in the soap as well, in the finished product when we go to neutralise, and that helps with minimizing soap scum and of course extending the shelf life of your liquid soap. Right, so a few hours have passed and now I'm just come to check on it. I'll just open it up quick and give it a stir and just make sure everything's looking good, and it is. You could see that it's like a translucent stage, so it's doing very, very well, and it's still around the 80 degrees Celsius mark as well. I did give it a quick test with the heat gun, and you can probably see it's 82 degrees Celsius, which is great. So I'm just gonna see that there's no separation or anything, and then you can see right here it's nice and translucent. The stage is very good. It's reaching the appropriate stage, no separation or anything like that. I've never had separation happen. It's always behaved itself very well. Yeah, so there's enough heat, there's enough residual heat from the batter and also the hot plate underneath, because I just left it on there, and it'll keep it at the appropriate temperature. I'm going to put the lid back on, and then I'm going to come tomorrow and put in a bigger pot and then dilute it. So after this we will dilute the liquid soap by adding generally between 2 and 2.5 to 1 ratio, and then we will neutralize it with citric acid. Then we'll add sodium gluconate, and then we will thicken it with guar gum, and I add just a little bit more, 10% of the glycerin to the guar gum, or the guar gum to the glycerin, and I make sure it's hydrated well, and then I add it completely to the diluted liquid soap, and then I blend, and then of course if you want to scent it you can add it, or you can split it off into smaller amounts and then scent it that way. But with the dilution, I dissolve 100 grams of citric acid into about 200 grams of distilled water and make sure it's well dissolved, and you just add a little bit at a time. You stick blend, and then you pH test it, and then once it's come down to 8.5 pH test with the litmus strip papers, when it's nice, that proper green color, it's completely neutralized, safe. There's enough potassium citrate in there as well, so that'll help. It's a chelator, so it'll help with soap scum and extending the shelf life of your soap. Right, so here you'll see me just weigh out. I just like to spritz the tools and utensils with alcohol and then wipe it clean. So adding the remainder of glycerin just in here, and then I'm adding the guar gum, and then I'm going to make sure it's hydrated well. Using a whisk helps it a lot, to hydrate it a lot. And then I'm just going to put that aside. Once it's hydrated, you can see it turns into like a paste. Then I put it aside, and then the citric acid that I pre-dissolved before, and there's sodium gluconate in there as well that I pre-dissolved, so I will add just a little bit of citric acid at a time, and you'll see me just blend, and then I'll just keep pH testing, and I'll keep doing it. I'll take my time, don't rush this step, and don't add too much citric acid at once, because you want to make sure you add just the right amount. You don't want to degrade the soap, because adding too much can cause it to degrade and not be soap anymore. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to blend. I add also the sodium gluconate, and I pH tested, and everything was great. And then I add the slurry, the guar gum slurry, to the mix, and then I blend it really well, make sure everything's well incorporated. It's got a beautiful chocolate aroma. So I'm going to continue to blend nicely, and I'm going to do one last pH test. You always just want to make sure that it's completely neutralized and safe for use, and then I'll go ahead and pour them off and store them into the actually into the distilled water containers, because they're already sterilized and they're already clean. So I will store them in there, and I will do a quick lather test as well to show you. It's got a nice creamy lather, and just doing the soap this way just takes the guesswork, out of the whole process, because liquid soap can be a little daunting to some, and especially for beginners. I know for me at the beginning it's a lot more technical and a lot more daunting, but just doing it this way just takes the headache out of it. And doing the negative 15% superfat and diluting 6.7% of citric acid into distilled water, you can scale it to how big or small you want the recipe to be, and it's just very easy. I've been doing it this way for a really long time. All my liquid soaps now are done via cold process method, and so just give it a try. If you do decide to give it a try, let me know in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.